G'day there guys, it's your Aussie Hubby Markee, back at it again with another episode of r/ChoosingBeggars. Now if you love me like I love you, then you know what to do. I want you to sit back, relax, chuck a prawn on the barbie, and get ready for some bloody good content. Posted by user Cabia26. Titled, My mum offers to let the kids have their pool party at our house. Our pool, the only one available, is not good enough for the choosing beggar. I am paraphrasing a chain of emails here. The necessary background information is that my family is a member of a small non-profit social club. Jill, my mum, has a pool in her backyard. Meg is the woman in charge of the organization's children's group, which consists of about 20 kids ages 3 to 13. Kathy is one of the mums, and she has 2 kids who are 4 and 6 years old. Meg's email to all the children's mums plus Jill says, Hi everyone! I hope you're all doing well and staying safe at home. I have some good news. Although we will not be able to have our annual pool party at the town aquatic centre due to the facility being closed for the season, we might still be able to have a pool party. Jill, last name, has graciously offered to let us use her pool in her backyard. This pool party is tentatively scheduled for late July, but is subject to change based on the CDC recommendations. I will keep you posted with more information. Kathy's reply is, Hi Meg and Jill. Does Jill's pool have 0 depth entry? My kids are scared of deep water. Hi Kathy. We don't have 0 depth entry, but we do have stairs leading into the shallow side of the pool. The shallow side of the pool is 1 meter deep, and the 6-year-old will most likely be able to stand and walk around in it, but the 4-year-old will probably need a life vest. Meg, Jill's pool really isn't going to work for us. It's not 0 depth, so it probably is going to be very scary for the younger kids. Could you please try to find a pool that has more options for the little ones? Kathy, no one has a 0 depth pool in their backyard, and the public pools are all closed for the season. I'm sorry you'd prefer an alternative, but there is no alternative. I think this party is still going to be a lot of fun for the kids, even if it's not exactly what we had originally planned. Wow, you really only care about the older kids, don't you? This is such a slap in the face to those of us who have little ones. Thanks for showing us your true colors, I guess. Posted by user Lexador. Titled, Wait, so I have to put my money on the gift cards? So this just happened earlier today while I was at work. I'm on mobile, so apologies for any formatting issues. Hey Markee, if you see this, tell Hugo I said hi. I work at popular redhead fast food empire, and since our lobby is closed due to COVID-19, all orders must be taken at the drive-thru. This puts me by our pickup window and listening to orders over the headset. Enter our star of the story, who I will lovingly call Karen. She drives up to the speakers and asks our drive-thru person if we have any gift certificates. Karen's like, Do you all have gift certificates? No, we do not. We do offer gift cards though, however. Great, can I have 15 of them? Go ahead and pull up to the window. This is where it's mostly paraphrased, as I didn't hear the whole conversation from my position. Policy requires our manager to handle any gift card purchases and reloads. As my manager is getting the cards together, she asks how much she wants on each card and who they're for. Karen's like, I need $2 on each card. They're for my employees. Alright, so that comes down to $30 total. Wait, I thought I didn't have to pay for them. Well, that's how the money gets put on the cards. You need to purchase the funds. That's ridiculous. I don't have to pay for them. I'm a business owner and I'm struggling because of the corona. Well, I'm sorry, but we can't just give you these on the house. The rest was tuned out as another person came through our drive-thru, and I had to help fill an order. From what I saw, Karen drove off without her gift cards. Why on God's green earth would you give your hard-working employees $2 gift cards to a fast food place? I'm glad that lady left without purchasing. Her employees deserve better. Look, she was probably just trolling by the sounds of it. That's a good way to waste everyone's time. She was honestly probably just trolling. Posted by user Aral Carrier 2024. Titled, Free school equipment and swimming lessons is not enough. Every year, I make up 4 school packs for my school to be given out to whomever the school thinks needs it. The school gives me the ages and whether it's a boy or a girl, but other than that, I don't know anything about them or who the recipients are. It's usually a school bag with the official school logo on the bag, lunchbox, drink bottle, pencil case, assorted stationery, a school jumper in the appropriate size, we have compulsory uniforms, a school hat, a few picture books, and a note that their school swimming lessons that year have been paid for. All up, each pack costs me about $120 to put together. This year, the principal showed me an email that they received from a parent who received one of the packs. Her complaints were, the lunchbox didn't have a particular character that her son liked. It was just a plain blue one. The drink bottle wasn't personalized with his name on it. Why did I give a school jumper instead of brand name jumper, instead that he could wear outside of school? An iPad would have been much more useful than the books because he can watch YouTube on it. He doesn't like reading. The scissors were not left-handed scissors. Why did our high school child, who attends a completely different school, also not get given a set? Why weren't all school excursions for the year paid for, not just swimming? She assumes that the camp fees have been covered and that I forgot to put a note in about it. I would have been better to just give her the money and she could have picked things that her child wanted. I told the principal that under no circumstances is her family ever to receive one of my bags. By the way, not one line in her email included the word thank or you. Or it could have had screw you. That's possible. Posted by user RightShoe. Titled, I don't want the personalized hearing aids you made for me anymore. Give me the better ones for free. Sorry, I just needed to blow off some steam. I'm in training to be a hearing aid acoustician in Germany, and most of the time it is a very interesting and relaxed job. You learn about people, get to help them, and they're happy that they can finally understand their grandchildren again. But now, we had this lady walking into our shop, already testing hearing aids at another shop, which is fine, you can test all you want. She says she hates the ones she's wearing at the moment, the normal behind-the-ear ones, and she doesn't want those anymore and we should make her in-ear ones instead, and she doesn't want to pay anything for them. I have to digress a bit to explain that, in Germany, we have hearing aids that are completely paid for by your health insurance company. Every acoustician has a line of hearing aids that are especially for these contracts with the insurance companies. They're actually pretty good ones by now, and many people are very happy with them. You can get new ones every 6 years. So, she actually can get in-ear hearing aids for free. She really doesn't want to test the BTE ones first at our shop, and doesn't want to pay anything for them herself. She was very insistent on that. So my boss makes her sign a paper that she will take those, if we build them for her. So she goes home, and we order the personalized in-ear for her. A couple days later, she called us, and asked if she can control the aids with an app. No, she can't, because that is not something the health insurance companies pay for. We explain that to her, and she keeps asking if we can't just include that in her aid. No, we can't. It's not something the health insurance company pays for. If she wants that, she would have to pay for that herself. After some discussion, she finally hangs up. The next day, she's calling again and again, and why can't we include that? Because apparently another shop offers that within the aids paid for by the insurance. They do not. My boss called them and asked after the 5th time this lady had called us. So now she is at the point where she wants us to stop the other order, which is already being built especially for her ear. We can't use that hearing aid for anyone else, we would have to throw it away, and give her the more expensive one with the app controls for free as a compensation for her trouble. We'll see if she gets through with that. We all hope she doesn't, but we have to wait what our company says about that. Posted by user Gooseberry Dragon, titled, Give an inch and they'll take a mile. So this happened a few years ago when I worked at a factory in my town. I was 22 years old, 40-hour work week here. Houses were right next to it, and pizza places right across the street. On break, this kid I've known since the 3rd grade spotted me while walking to the pizza shop. I have to mention that this kid is definitely on heroin, no doubt about it. I know all the signs. He dropped out of high school around sophomore year. This dude asks for a cigarette because he's seen me smoking. I gave him one, and that was a huge mistake. For the next 2 weeks, he literally came exactly at the time that I go on break to ask me for a cigarette. I'm a nice dude and know what it's like to be broke while having this cancer habit, so I always gave him one. That's not what the problem is. but I wanted to give some backstory. One day, him and his brother, who's also a drug addict, asked for a ride to the train station. Since I have a half-hour break and it's only a 3-minute drive, I did it. They start going on and on about them going to see their stepmom in Camden, New Jersey, because they miss her. I'm not an idiot, and I know they are going there for drugs, but I don't say anything. When we get to the train station, they ask if I can buy them a ticket for them. Lamau, I say nah, I don't have cash, so then they ask if I can go up with them to use my card. They said they don't have money for the tickets. I said no, then they both slammed my doors and was angrily staring at me while I was driving away. Sure enough, the next day he came on my break to apologize to get a cigarette, and I told him flat out no. I know he's not sorry at all, just wants his nicotine fix. He stopped coming around after that, and about a week later I had a crack in my windshield when I came out to leave work. It might be a coincidence, but I doubt it. Gotta love drug addicts. That's the problem. You say no to these people once and it doesn't how much you have given them already. How much is the new windshield? Agreed. I should have to say it was a chip, not a crack. Luckily, it only cost about $15 to fix it myself. Still, it was annoying that I had to fix it. The fact that it happened when I wasn't even driving the vehicle makes me believe it was the druggies. It was right on the driver's side, eye level. No way I would have missed that while driving to work. Posted by user Sparlord, titled, House Traded Turning into Free Holiday, for the Whole Family. This happened way back ago, around 2002 to 3-ish. Just a few years married, my base, I'm military, is too far for daily travel. In the Netherlands, we don't live on base with the whole family, just a room for me. So we wanted to change the situation, move to live nearby the base. Housing is hard to come by in the western part of Holland, so we came up with the idea to swap places with people wanting to live in the south of the Netherlands. It's nice, lots of history and hill-sided. Maybe others are wanting to live there. I lived next to my parents back then, and they had an apartment that they were willing to let, and therefore being used for the trade. Not a big place, good enough for a couple and a kid. Had someone interested, so I made an appointment to have a look at their place. Drove into the area, and it showed a bit of poverty quite quickly. But okay, you never know. Rang the doorbell, the female couple opens the door and welcomes me in. Right away, I start scanning. Torn wallpaper, dirty place, and not well maintained. Couple had 2 kids, I notice, that would be tight in the apartment. Noticed that the guy on the phone and the second red flag came up. He was calling about an ad for a trailer for sale, if he could have it for free. A few minutes later, we start to chat. He shows me around. Not a great place, but doable, and it would let me drive to work every day, and therefore be with my, back then, divorced now, wife. So I explained how the apartment looked like, and he seemed interested and wanted to come over to have a look. Asked if I drove back and forth every weekend. I answered, yeah, of course. He then asked if he could come along in that case, which is weird because how would he get back, right? I would stay the weekend, and after that drive back to work. Oh, if his wife and children could also come along and stay the weekend in the apartment for free, said I would have to ask my parents. Left, phoned back later and told them nah, can't make that happen. I wouldn't even have this guy living next to my father as it is. My dad is too nice and would have been taken advantage of by these parasites. Posted by user WogLol, titled, I am sorry the discount we offered is not good enough for you. This just happened at work a few hours ago, and I just cannot stop thinking about how much it annoys me. I work at a locally owned tech store. We deal in a little bit of everything from servers to photocopiers to complete custom gaming PCs and components. I had a fellow come in looking for a graphics card. He wanted a really good graphics card. So I showed him one that matched his specs and that we have in stock currently. He said it was perfect, exactly what he was looking for, but unfortunately the price, which regular MSRP of 829 Canadian dollars, was a bit much more than he'd like to spend at the moment. So I felt for the guy, and I was like, you know what man, let me go talk to my boss, and I'll see what I can do for you. My boss and I look at what our cost was on the graphics card, and it turns out that we got it on sale for a pretty decent price. That paired with the fact that my boss was in a particularly good mood, he tells me to knock it down to $680. Not turning much profit on our end, but we really like to help people out when we can. So I thought, wow, this guy's going to be so happy. That's a really good price. I go back to the guy, tell him about the better price I can offer him, and what does he say? Well, that's okay, I guess, but can you make it so it's $680 including taxes? After I told him, unfortunately we could not make any more of a loss on the product, as we are already knocking off a good amount and not making much from the sale, he hit me with the ever familiar, well, I guess I'll just go buy it somewhere else for cheaper. Why are people like this? Posted by user Middle Class Mad Lad, titled, Choosing Beggar Family Wants Us to Buy Their Shopping Until Lockdown is Over. So I'm going to try to keep this as short as I assume many Redditors like me don't have the attention span to read long stories, TLDR at the bottom. So to preface this, both of my parents have the Choosing Beggar family parents that work for the NHS, and as a result, we have each our families gotten the coronavirus, mildly, luckily, at some point over the last few months. Anyway, when the Choosing Beggar family, I'm going to shorten it to CBF from here on, began their personal isolation period, they didn't have much food at home, so my family bought them about £250 worth of food for their large family over 2 weeks, on 2 separate trips. Initially, they were really grateful and appreciative, with both parents and kids texting us thank yous and telling us how much they appreciate it, and as far as we're concerned, all was well with them finishing their isolation period and being able to go outside again. So here's where the trouble started. 4 days after they were out of personal lockdown, the entitled mother of the family called my parents, asking when to expect their food delivered, and this is the dialogue as my dad told me. Hey, just wanted to check in with you guys when the food will be delivered since it's a bit later than usual. Oh, sorry, entitled mother, we haven't bought you anything as you're no longer isolating. Why not? Your food was so much better than the stuff we usually get, and the kids love it so much. Isn't that right, kids? Entitled mother allows her little brats to serenade my dad with their beautiful screeching of manipulation. Sorry, entitled mother, we're already feeding a family of 6 and can't afford to pay for another 5 people. Come on, ED and I don't want to leave the house and you guys shop today anyway. No, entitled mother, we're not buying you anything. And dad hangs up the phone. After that, the entitled Choosing Beggar family kept trying to guilt trip us into buying their shopping with the oldest kid calling me with their other 2 calling my siblings, and of course, entitled mother screeching at my parents. End result is the Choosing Beggar family blocked on everything, we don't buy them anything. Just to be clear, we paid for all their stuff without reimbursement, while also buying for our large family, just in case you thought we were saying no, got the hell of it. Posted by user Tara Baby Girl, titled, Open your wallet and prove to me that you don't have any money. A while ago, during my grandma's birthday, I was near a gift shop to buy my grandma a gift. Nearby, I saw this lady and her kid who were obviously street-side beggars. They immediately made a beeline for me and started begging me for money. I have a habit of not giving beggars money, but rather offering to buy them food. This lady happily accepted. First, she demanded that I buy her pori over the idli. For those of you who don't know, both are popular breakfast dishes in India. Idli is made with grounded rice batter, and pori is fried flour pancakes. Pori is more expensive. So I spent more than half the money I had from my grandma's birthday gift to get her 2 sets of this meal. She complained and said I should have given her 3 because there was 3 people. I asked her where the 3rd child was, and she pointed across the street to another child who was also begging and called her over. I told her in my very broken Telugu, because I spoke English better, that I spent as much as I could. She insisted that she saw me break a 100 rupee note and had enough for another meal. I told her I'm not spending all my money. I gave her all the food and left. Oh no, it doesn't end there. A few months later, I was walking home and passing by the same area and saw her with her friend. She immediately ran up to me and demanded I give her money. I told her I didn't have any. She insisted I opened my bag and wallet and show her I have no money. I told her it wasn't any of her business and walked away. Thankfully, I haven't seen her since. Posted by user bishcop3267, titled, Giving Away Our Old Printer. First post in here, so go easy please. Also TLDR at the bottom. So for context, my dad is a cop and works security for a local grocery store sometimes, as they get a lot of traffic and aren't in the center of town where the bulk of crimes happen where I'm from. So we have an old printer from like 2012 that works fine. But since we've been in college and printing more, we decided to get a better one at the beginning of the fall semester, and the old one had just been sitting collecting dust. Doing some cleaning around the house, my mum finds it in my brother's old room. She had forgotten that they put it there, and reminded my dad that they said they were just going to give it away. My mum makes a post last night, saying first come, first served, and gets some responses rather quickly. She gives them my dad's number to text, and one lady texts and says she'd like the printer and is wondering where we live to pick it up. But my dad doesn't really want to give a stranger our address, so he was trying to find a place to meet her in the middle. She stops responding last night, and my dad decided that he'd deal with it today. The grocery store he does security for is much closer to her home, and so he suggests that she could meet him there and pick it up, and instead, she says he should just deliver it if he's going to be out that way. My dad says no, you can come get the free printer if you'd like it, just 5 minutes from your house. Come into the store, and I won't be very hard to find. Lady never shows, and a different person ends up texting Dad and is coming to pick up the printer for his son, also going to be in college. The lady texts my dad, asking when he will be delivering the printer. When he informs her, she threatens to call the police on him for backing out on his promise that he never made. I really don't understand people. And our last post is by user Salzora, titled, Choosing Beggar tried to guilt trip me to donate more money. So this happened a few years ago. I have nothing to do in quarantine, so I decided to share this story. For context, I had just started doing an unpaid internship at a hotel in a different country. I had to depend on my mum for rent money and groceries, as I didn't have time to get a job that actually paid. The minimum work hour at the hotel was 12 hours, and they even asked us to work for longer times, as you will get to learn more. My mum sent me just enough to pay rent and get food, and I was very grateful for that, so I didn't have much money to spare for personal entertainment or shopping. One day, on my day off, I was out for a walk and buying groceries. This woman dresses as a nun approached me. I'm very shy and can't approach people, but I don't mind talking when someone approaches me. She tells me that her church were looking to help orphans and were asking people for donations. She asked me to donate some money. I didn't have much money to spare, but I thought it was a good cause, so I donated $50, not USD, I don't know how much that is worth in dollars, and she legit said, only 50? I thought I didn't hear her right and said, excuse me? You understand that I'm asking you to donate for orphans, right? Have you no heart? I tried to explain to her why I couldn't give more and how I was struggling myself. I don't remember everything she said word for word, but it was something to do with, but they are orphans, they need it more than you. And she started bashing me for being greedy and how God will be watching me and not help me for being greedy. My mind shut down and my face went blank. I don't like arguing over stupid things, so I just turned around and walked away. Luckily, she didn't follow me, and probably found someone else to harass. Alright guys, that's all for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to tell me what you thought about it down in the comments down below. If you're new to the channel, also don't forget to subscribe. It would really help out with my channel growth. And also, a huge shout out to my channel patrons and members. I just love you guys and thank you for supporting me on this journey. If you guys are new to the channel and you'd like to support me, links are down below for the Patreon, or you can click the join button next to subscribe if you'd like to become a channel member. Alright guys, that's all for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have a good day, night, sleep, whatever you're up to, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.